One day, the main character went to a secluded place after receiving a love letter, and the sender was this red-haired lady. This event was supposedly romantic, but she kicked the main character's face instead. Then her facial expression was very satisfied with no remorse after dealing that fatality. She was expecting to one-shot knock out the main character, but he was made from the Nokia factory. After realizing that he was a Sigma, she wanted to drink his blood, because she was actually a vampire. The main character have a strong vitality, so she was craving to drink his blood. Then the vampire lady drank his fresh blood. However, she was not used to drinking raw blood, because she wanted it well done. After that, she was yapping that she can also get some nutrients from other kinds of fluids as long as it contains some life essence.
Yeah, boy.
The main character had enough from listening to her fictional nonsense, and he don't believe everything she said. So, she decided to show him the proof that she was a legitimate vampire. Then the main character believes now. She was very hungry at this moment, but the main character had anemia. Therefore, the main character offered his sacred milkshake instead. She was an absolute beginner, and she have no idea on how to properly extract the infinite energy source. So, she was squeezing it like a lemon juice. The main character stopped her violent activity, and he told her to perform the Gulp Gulp 3000. The vampire lady's skills were at noob level, so the main character was trash-talking her performance in his mind. Then the vampire lady used her ability to read his thoughts, and she was able to discover the desire of the main character. Therefore, she was able to properly execute the Gulp Gulp 3000 in the way the main character wanted, and he was happy with her sudden improvement. She was a lady with medium as premium, so the main character was somehow disappointed. However, he decided to still be thankful with this kind of blessings. Suddenly, her melons got an instant upgrade. The main character was very lucky, so he borrowed her melons for his little buddy to play with. This was a dream to reality for the main character, because he was a man of culture who wanted to experience clapping melons. Then the vampire lady volunteered to perform his cultural desire, and the main character gave her facial wash. After that, the main character was still energetic, because he was single since birth person. The vampire lady decided to make him graduate, and she was now smashing his weapon. Then her behavior was using woman empowerment to dominate the main character, and she was doing this because she knows that he was the type of guy who says mommy. The main character suddenly grabbed her wings, and it turns out that her wings were her weakness. So, the main character counterattack, and he gained the positional advantage at her back. Then he was now punishing her with his rod of destruction, and he finishes his attack with his ultimate explosion. The next day, the main character proudly shared to his friend that his social status was level up.
Nice.
Suddenly, the red-haired lady approached the main character, because there is something important she wanted to tell him. Then she told him that she was actually a half-vampire and half-demon that drinks milkshake. In other words, she wanted milkshake as her primary source of food. In the next scenario, it was now lunch break. So, it was now her feeding time. Meanwhile, the two guys were jealous from watching the main character being lucky. The main character and the red-haired lady went to the music room. Then she was now singing using his microphone. The main character was thinking that he was just a food source, and she have no feelings for him. His inner thoughts were begging her to grow her average melons, because her melons have returned to the default size. Then her magic was triggered, and it gave her the enlargement effect. She knows that this was the favorite kind of culture of the main character, so she gave him a melon massage therapy. In addition, she also combined the therapy with the Gulp Gulp 3000 for maximum relaxation. Suddenly, the feeding session was disturbed by the two NTR men. Then they were trash-talking the main character for doing shameless activity in the place of learning. Meanwhile, the red-haired lady had no idea about the situation, and she still wanted to continue her meal. The NTR blonde interrupted, and he was flexing that the NTR group have better stats than the main character. However, the red-haired lady was confident that the main character was better, and she don't even wanted to taste the NTR man's low-quality milkshake. Therefore, the NTR man becomes angry, so he restrained the red-haired lady. The main character was only using talking jutsu instead of letting his punches do the talking. So, the black-hair NTR man tied the main character to the piano, and it was just ribbon knot, and getting stopped by that is very gay.
You are gay.
Meanwhile, the NTR blonde was now playing with her front yard melons, and the NTR man was wanting a bigger one. However, nothing happens, because it seems like that feature is limited for the main character. Anyways, the two NTR men unleashed their swords, and they were force-feeding her in front of the main character. After a while, it was now the time to punish the NTR man, so she bite the meat, and the NTR blonde retreated. However, she will still finish the unfinished business. She knows that the NTR man loves getting punished. Therefore, she was giving the NTR blonde a helping hand with a grip strength of a gorilla. Then the black hair NTR man sacrificed his entire generation to feed her some scrambled eggs. After that, she devoured their meat together at the same time. Then she used their pipes to give herself a milky shower. Meanwhile, the main character's flagpole was having a flag-raising ceremony, and the red-haired lady noticed that activity. So, she wanted his piece of meat. The main character was against clapping in front of other people. However, she was an idiot, so she transformed in front of other people, because she wanted to properly service the main character. Then the NTR guys were surprised after seeing her wings. The vampire demon rides on the Iron Pegasus, and she was loudly saying that the main character was her chosen one. Meanwhile, the NTR guys were enjoying the show with excitement. Then the female demon uses her dominating charm to challenge the NTR man to explore her sewage system. The NTR blonde becomes an obedient dog, and it seems like he was doing his best on exploring her unholy backdoor. Also, the black hair NTR man becomes motivated, and joined the fun group activity by making her enjoy a feeding frenzy. The vampire demon was now learning the three-sword style technique, and she received an explosion in 3 directions. After that, the NTR guys were affected by the milkshake clarity, so they were able to regret their life decision of clapping a freaky lady. Meanwhile, the red-haired lady realized that her body only accepts the main character as the exclusive milkshake provider. So, she concluded that she have feelings for the main character, and she wanted to become his girlfriend. Then they become officially a couple. Of course, the main character will still be continuing as her primary source of food. A few days later, the main character was calculating that his girlfriend is cheating. His girlfriend was talking with another man, and they were secretly doing the clapping exercises. Then his girlfriend was complimenting the NTR man for having a better equipment than her boyfriend, and she was happily receiving an abundant milkshake supply compared to her boyfriend. However, all of that was just the main character's imagination. Suddenly, the main character wanted to back out from dating, because he keeps on overthinking. So, his girlfriend was now sad, and she was thinking that he was disappointed with the medium cup. Then she suddenly devoured his meat, but his little buddy was not yet ready to wake up, so she thought that he was not satisfied anymore with her assets. Therefore, she transformed to the thickness overload version. That version was already good, but she wanted more attracting power. Then she transformed into a demi-human cat girl. So, the main character's natural instinct becomes full charge, and he started pounding the fluffy cakes. Then she told the main character that she was willing to transform to anything to satisfy his special needs. However, that is not the main character's intention, because all he wanted was an assurance from his girlfriend. Therefore, his girlfriend assured him that he was the only guy who can match her freak. The main character's mind was now at ease, so he donated his creamy vanilla milkshake to his girlfriend, and they have a kissing scene for romantic purposes. After that, she invited him to go to her house to meet her mother. That's the end of this cultural anime recap. Sadly, there was no continuation of this animated series, so we won't be able to see her mother in action. Anyways, here is your cream sauce, and don't forget to limit its consumption to the culturally matured people only, and thank you for watching.